We've been hearing about devs going bust and investor capital drying up. Has the publishing side grown, shrank, or stayed stable?
I think it's like coming. Well, I'm of course a bit biased because I work at one. So but I think in general, and it's not saying that because I work at one. I think in general, everyone in the industry that has money has been more risk averse in the last year or
Yeah.
so. So taking less of a risk on certain projects, funding. Like while during Corona, you saw that certain publishers who would have done like 100K or 250K suddenly started to decide to go up with their budgets. They were like, oh, let's maybe go to 500 now. Let's try that out. And there were publishers that had that were like, no, we'll go ahead and try 1 million now. And from that, it started to scale. And we're now post Corona, and you see that certain things haven't panned out the way that they thought it would, and they have taken bets that didn't pay off. And now, because of course, getting money from investors or banks in general, which get used by publishers too, is being more like it costs them more too, right? So it's not as easy for them to get an investor to invest or to get capital. So yeah, I think publishers in general become more risk adverse. There's certain publishers that are very well in certain spaces, and they'll probably continue on doing certain things within that genre, but they know very well what they can and cannot do. So, that's probably the thing. I don't think there has been a lot of publishers that have gone out of business as much, but they have been more risk averse and will probably sign less games these upcoming next 2 years and focus on certain, like building out certain ones that they do have. Yeah.
And just to like complement like also my perspective on things, as in to agree basically, like from the things that Rich here is seeing, for the things I'm seeing as well, it's kind of the same. Like the money is there, but they're not as inclined as they were a few years ago to fund things. So that's what, as we have been seeing lately from news that studios are closing down, is because they were studios that could have been relying money like this that is not necessarily getting out to developers, but it's still there, right? So I would kind of say there is a stability as in the amount of money, but it's just stuck. It's not getting out to developers and getting out to studios.